Now, if you went up to any Aussie school kid in the 70s and asked them about a book called Storm Boy, they'd know it as well as the kids know Harry Potter today. They'd tell you it's about a young boy living on the South Australian coast and the friendships with an Aboriginal man named Fingerbone Bill and a pelican called Mr. Percival.
Well, in 1976, the popular book was made into a moving film starring David Gulpilil and 11-year-old Adelaide boy Greg Rowe.
What's your name? Storm Boy. You run like a black fella. Like the wind. I'm Fingerbone Bill. You live here with your people?
Just my dad. Mum's dead.
Lonely place?
I don't mind.
Well, joining us now on the satellite from Toronto, Canada, please welcome Storm Boy's Greg Rowe.
Greg, thank you for taking the time. You're an 11-year-old boy, no acting experience. Tell us how Storm Boy came about.
Well, actually, it was it's quite a funny story. My sister is really responsible for it. When I was 10, we were walking down the Rundle Mall once, and she saw a competition in a department store for a modelling competition. So she signed herself up, and she also signed me up, because I guess she wanted some moral support. Anyway, I ended up coming second place, and I still have the sash at my mum's house, would you believe? It says mini model 1976 or 1975. Anyway, so as a result of that, one of the prizes was an acting course with a modelling agency in Adelaide. So I did the acting course, and from that they put me on their books, and the first thing I ever did was a TV commercial. And after that, the agency said, do you want to go down and try out for a movie? So I went down to the SA Film Corps and auditioned for Storm Boy. So that's kind of how it came about.
And what a movie to get. It's just an incredible... Everybody remembers it. It is a magnificently made movie. It is quality. The scenery was spectacular. It was set along the South Australian coastline, which looked freezing cold. What was it like for you? Was it as cold as it looked?
My one enduring memory is how cold it was. Because part of the film, there's a lot of storm sequences. They wanted to, obviously they had to have it looking wintry, so they filmed it in winter, and it was filmed on the south coast of South Australia, right around the Murray Mouth, and so it was freezing cold.
And there are some beautiful pictures of you and Mr. Percival. Tell us, what was it like working with pelicans? I understand no one had ever trained one before.
They hadn't, actually, and I believe the person they got to train the pelicans was actually a dolphin trainer, because I guess they figured that dolphins are kind of the nearest thing to pelicans, and I think each pelican had their own set of skills that they could do better than the other one. So depending on what the scene required, they would pick the pelican that would probably do best in that scene.
But you also worked with an Australian acting legend in David Gulpilil. He played Fingerbone Bill. What was it like working with him?
The first time I met him, he came up and gave me a hug, and he said, okay, I want you to call me Wooa, which is an Aboriginal word for big brother. I'm going to call you Gulma, which means little brother. And then from then on, he kind of just took me under his wing, and was just a fantastic person to work with.
You had a very interesting relationship with your father in the movie. We might just take a quick look at a bit.
Didn't know you'd be upset that much. Anyway, wild things should be free.
He's come back! Dad's come back! Mr. Percival's come back!
Oh, I'm going to get all teary. How about you?
Tell us the first time you saw the movie, and what did you think of yourself?
The first night I actually saw the film, start to finish, was opening night in Adelaide. And I hated looking at myself. I couldn't stand it. And for many, many years, no matter when I saw the film, I would always get embarrassed. And I'd say it's only in the last 5 or 10 years that I can actually watch it without without cringing. That sounds funny. But I don't know. I'm not sure why, but, you know, I guess it's like looking at old home movies of yourself doing stuff. It's hard to explain.
So did that have anything to do with your decision to not pursue acting, which leads me to ask you what you're doing now?
It's a long story. After I left high school, I got a job, and I worked in a bank in Australia for 3 years, and didn't really like that very much, and moved to England for a while. I got a job in a pub, and one night my future wife came in, and I served her a pint of beer, and it was love at first sight.
Isn't that terrific? And now you're a full-time dad. You've got a 4 and a 7-year-old. Let me ask, have you shown them Storm Boy yet?
Actually, last time I was in Australia, I bought a couple of DVDs of some of the movies I was in, and I brought them back and I showed the girls now, and I think they get a bit of a kick out of it. The
nice.
Little one she's still too young to kind of, you know, to fully put it together, but my oldest, she gets a kick out of it, yeah.
Wow, well, the other one will very soon. Greg, lovely to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Greg Rowe.